Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive.
Mhm.
I'm always super excited to explore Earth's medicine cabinet with you. And today we're going to crack open one of nature's most potent packages,
I love this one.
the egg.
Perfect.
Um, just incredible how much is packed into this little
Oh, it's amazing.
oval.
It really is like nature's blueprint for life.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got everything.
It's
I
like the
just,
ultimate self-contained creation kit,
yeah,
right? I mean, you've got all the building blocks for a baby chick in there, and for us too, when you think about it.
absolutely.
The amount of vitamins and minerals in a single egg, it's really mind-blowing.
Oh, for sure.
You've got your AB12, riboflavin B5,
Mm-hmm.
vitamin D, E, K, folate, phosphorus, selenium, calcium, zinc. I mean, the list goes on and on.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And they're not just there by chance. They're all there to support the development of that little chicken side. And those
Yeah.
same nutrients have incredible benefits for us as well.
Yeah, it really makes you realize why they call it a perfect food. But, okay, we have to address the elephant in the room here.
Uh-oh.
Cholesterol.
Right.
Eggs have a reputation for being high in it, and that makes some people understandably nervous.
Right. It's true that eggs do contain cholesterol, but the relationship between dietary cholesterol and heart health is way more complex than we used to think. For some people, eating eggs might not affect their blood cholesterol levels that much.
Hmm?
Their liver just does a great job at regulating things.
So some people can eat eggs freely without worrying too much.
Yeah, exactly.
But for others, it's a different story.
Yeah, you got it. Particularly for those with certain genetic predispositions, dietary cholesterol can lead to a bigger increase in their blood cholesterol levels.
Oh, I see.
So, it really highlights the importance of personalized nutrition.
So it's not as simple as saying eggs are good or bad for everyone.
Exactly right. No one-size-fits-all answer, unfortunately.
And to make things even more interesting, I've heard that eggs can actually have some positive effects on cholesterol levels as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Like some studies show that eating eggs can raise your HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol.
Uh-huh. And higher HDL levels are linked to a lower risk of heart disease and stroke.
So eggs could actually be beneficial for your heart.
That's what some of the research suggests. But it's important to say that the research on eggs and cholesterol is still ongoing. And, there are some conflicting findings, so there's a
Oh.
lot more we need to learn.
Okay, so the cholesterol debate is clearly complex.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, there's a whole other world of benefits hiding inside those eggshells, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the coolest is choline.
Choline.
This nutrient is abundant in eggs, and it's essential for brain function and cell health, but it often flies under the radar.
So what does choline actually do in our bodies?
Well, think of choline as like this key building block for cell membranes. Those are the protective barriers around all of our cells.
Okay.
It also plays a crucial role in brain function, particularly in producing neurotransmitters.
Neurotransmitters.
Those are the chemical messengers that allow brain cells to communicate.
Ah, so without enough choline, our brains wouldn't be working properly.
Yeah, exactly. Choline deficiency can cause some serious issues, but luckily our bodies can produce some choline on their own.
Yeah.
However, certain groups like pregnant women and people with specific genetic variations may need more choline than their bodies can produce,
Hmm,
which makes dietary sources like eggs even more important.
that's fascinating. I never realized how important choline was or that eggs were such a good source.
Yeah, it's like one of the unsung heroes of nutrition. And
Yeah.
when you consider all of the potential benefits for things like brain fog memory and mood,
Yeah.
it makes you really appreciate this humble little nutrient.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, huh?
It's pretty incredible how vital choline is for a developing baby's brain.
Yeah.
Studies are showing that moms who get enough choline during pregnancy can have a huge impact on their baby's brain development and cognitive function down the road. Really? Wow. So expectant mothers should definitely be paying attention to that choline intake.
Absolutely. It's like giving those little brains the best possible start in life.
Yeah.
And, eggs are one of the most concentrated sources of choline.
It's amazing how this one food can have such a huge impact on our health,
Yeah,
from our brains to our heart and even our eyes.
it really is.
Speaking of eyes, I've heard that eggs are really good for our vision too. Is that right?
You heard correctly. Egg yolks contain these two powerful antioxidants,
Like-
lutein and zeaxanthin.
Okay.
They basically act like internal sunglasses protecting your eyes from damage.
Internal sunglasses. I love that analogy. So how do these antioxidants actually work?
Well, they build up in the macula. That's the central part of the retina.
Okay.
And that's the part that's responsible for sharp, detailed vision.
Right.
And what they do is they help filter out harmful blue light from the sun and digital devices.
Oh, wow.
So that can reduce your risk of age-related macular degeneration and
Hmm.
cataracts later on.
So by eating eggs, I could be helping prevent those common age-related vision problems.
Yeah, the research suggests that consuming enough lutein and zeaxanthin can significantly lower the risk of developing those conditions.
And eggs are a good source for both.
Oh, a great source.
That's amazing.
There was even one study that found that eating just one egg a day for 5 weeks increased those levels of lutein and zeaxanthin in the blood of older adults.
Wow, that's really impressive.
It is.
So we've got brain health, heart health, eye health, all covered with this one incredible food.
It's pretty amazing, right?
It really is. But what about protein? I mean, eggs are known for being high in protein, too.
Oh, yeah, they're an excellent source of protein.
Okay.
And not just any protein. They provide all 9 essential amino acids that our bodies need but can't make themselves.
But it's a complete protein source.
Exactly, which makes it really valuable for building and repairing tissues,
Right. Oh.
supporting muscle growth and
Yeah.
all sorts of other functions.
Pretty important.
Oh, it's vital. And some experts even think that the current recommendations for protein intake might be too low,
Hmm.
especially as we age.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So eggs can be a great way to easily boost your protein intake.
Yeah, especially because they're so easy to cook up.
Absolutely.
And I've also heard that protein is really important for weight management. Can eggs play a role there, too?
Yeah, absolutely. Protein is known for making you feel fuller for longer,
Okay,
and that can help prevent overeating.
right.
And eggs, they score very high on what's called the satiety index,
Okay.
which basically measures how filling different foods are.
I see.
One study actually found that people who had eggs and toast for breakfast felt less hungry after their meal,
Oh, well.
and they ended up eating fewer calories at lunch compared to those who had a bowl of cereal.
So choosing eggs over a bowl of cereal in the morning could actually help with appetite control.
Yeah, and potentially support weight loss.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and another study found a link between eating eggs and a lower risk of having too much body fat, and especially that central obesity,
Yeah, belly fat.
exactly the one that's linked to metabolic syndrome.
Okay, so we've got a food that's good for our brain, heart, eyes, muscles,
Yeah.
and even helps us manage our weight.
Mhm.
Is there anything eggs can't do?
Well, they probably can't do your taxes, but
Probably not.
when it comes to nutrition, they are a pretty amazing package.
They really are. That's
Yeah.
true. But before we get too carried away celebrating all these benefits,
Uh-huh.
let's just address something that I know some people might be concerned about, because not all eggs are created equal.
Oh, that's a great point. The way hens are raised and what they eat has a big impact on the nutritional value of their eggs.
So what should we be looking for when we're choosing our eggs?
Well, I always recommend going for eggs that come from hens that have been pasture raised,
Okay,
so they have access to a natural diet.
right.
These eggs tend to be richer in nutrients like
Okay.
omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins A and E.
Okay, so pasture-raised eggs. Got anything else to look out for?
You can also look for eggs that have been enriched with omega-3s.
Okay.
Those are the heart-healthy fats that can help lower your triglyceride levels.
So it really is about quality over quantity when it comes to eggs.
Absolutely. Choosing high-quality eggs can make a real difference in how much nutrition you're actually getting.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the whole cholesterol debate to the benefits of choline and those eye-protecting antioxidants.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
And of course, we can't forget about the protein power of eggs.
Right.
But I'm curious, is there a magic number when it comes to how many eggs we should be eating?
That's the question I get asked all the time, and unfortunately, there's no easy answer. It
Mhm.
really depends on each person, their health history, their dietary needs, their genetics.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can handle eating tons of eggs every day and might even benefit from it, while others need to be a little more careful about how many they eat.
So it's all about listening to your body and working with a healthcare professional if you're not sure.
Yeah, exactly. Personalized nutrition is key. What works for one person might not be right for another.
That's a great takeaway, I think. And speaking of individual needs, I'm curious about how eggs fit into different life stages.
Yeah.
Are they equally beneficial for kids, adults, and older people?
That's a really important question for children. Eggs are an amazing source of protein and essential nutrients that are crucial for their growth and development.
Yeah.
And that choline we talked about is especially important for their brain development and cognitive function.
So it's like brain food for growing kids.
You got it.
That's great. And what about for adults?
For adults, eggs are still a great source of protein and vitamins and minerals.
Boy.
They help support muscle mass, bone health, and just overall well-being.
Okay, good. And what about as we get older?
Well, as we age, our needs change.
Hmm.
It becomes even more important to get enough protein
Okay.
to prevent muscle loss and keep our bones strong. Eggs can be a really helpful way to do that, especially for people who maybe don't have as much of an appetite or have trouble chewing other protein-rich foods.
So eggs are really a food for all ages.
They really are.
That's fantastic. But before we wrap up today, I think it's important to talk about food safety for a minute.
Okay.
I mean, we want to be enjoying the benefits of eggs without worrying about getting sick.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Proper handling and cooking are essential to avoid foodborne illness.
Absolutely. So what are some key tips for handling eggs safely?
Well, first things first, always wash your hands with soap and water before and after you handle eggs.
Okay, that's a good one.
Then make sure you store your eggs in the fridge at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below.
Got it.
And finally, always cook your eggs thoroughly until both the yolk and the white are firm.
So no runny yolks for those of us who like to play it safe.
Yeah, that's the safest way to go.
Okay.
And it's really best to avoid eating raw or undercooked eggs completely,
Right.
because that can increase your risk of salmonella poisoning.
Okay, those are all really good reminders. So just by following those simple guidelines, we can enjoy all the amazing benefits of eggs without any worries.
Exactly. It's all about making smart choices and incorporating this awesome food into a healthy, balanced diet.
Wow, I feel like we've really cracked the code on eggs today.
Yeah.
From brain health to eye health, heart health, even weight management. It's clear that eggs are way more than just a breakfast food.
Oh, yeah. They really are a true nutritional powerhouse. And I think what's so cool about them is how versatile they are.
Yeah.
You can scramble them, poach them, fry them, bake them, add them to recipes.
So many ways to enjoy them.
So many possibilities.
Speaking of different ways to enjoy them, I've noticed that egg yolks can be different colors.
Mm-hmm.
You see those pale yellow yolks and then some that are almost like a deep orange.
Right.
Is there a difference nutritionally?
That's a great question. So the yolk color is actually a reflection of the hen's diet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hens that eat a diet that's rich in carotenoids. Those are the pigments you find in plants like marigolds and alfalfa.
Right.
They tend to lay eggs with darker yolks.
So a darker yolk color could actually mean a more nutrient-rich egg.
Yeah, that's often the case. Those darker yolks tend to be higher in antioxidants like those lutein and zeaxanthin that we talked about earlier.
The ones that are good for eye health.
Exactly.
So it's not just about the egg itself, but also about what the chicken was eating.
It all comes back to the diet.
Yeah, it's like this whole chain of nutrition,
Absolutely.
connecting us back to the food chain and the importance of a healthy ecosystem.
Yeah, it really highlights how interconnected everything is in nature
Yeah,
and how much our food choices impact our health.
right. And speaking of choices, I know that some people might be hesitant to eat eggs
Mm-hmm.
because they have concerns about things like sustainability or animal welfare.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely something more and more people are thinking about. And thankfully, more and more farmers are starting to use practices that are better for the environment and better for the animals.
So what should people look for when they're buying eggs if they want to support ethical and sustainable egg production?
Well, there are a few labels to look out for, things like certified humane animal welfare approved and pasture raised.
Okay.
These labels generally mean that the hens have been raised in better conditions,
Right.
with access to the outdoors and the opportunity to forage naturally.
So those labels can really help people make more conscious choices.
Exactly.
And it's awesome that there are options out there that let us prioritize both our health and our values.
I agree.
Well, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of eggs, I'm just really amazed by how much we've learned about this seemingly simple food.
Yeah.
It's a great reminder that nature really does hold so many answers when it comes to our well-being.
Yeah.
And sometimes the most powerful remedies are right there in our own kitchen.
Well said. I couldn't agree more. The egg is a perfect example of how ingenious nature is. A reminder that food could be both nourishing and totally delicious.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on The Deep Dive.
It's been my pleasure.
We hope you've gained a whole new appreciation for the incredible egg and everything it has to offer.
I hope so too.
And remember, the journey of discovery never ends. So keep exploring, stay curious, and embrace the power of Earth's medicine cabinet.
Great advice. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.